Hi, I'm Sushmita and you're watching me on Fashion Decoded. Sye Raa is a story which came to my father a very long time ago. But obviously every story needs its time, the right time for it to be narrated to a larger audience. So the time came 2 years ago for us. And then that's when the whole thing started rolling out. I actually, after a very, very long time, after many years, went back to my college library. We put aside our computers, we actually sat with books because costume history, especially in India, is not documented enough online. There are more books, so we actually had to read a lot, collect a lot of pictures. Uyalwada Narasimha Reddy, though he's this huge freedom fighter of those times, was unfortunately not documented enough. So there were not many picture references about him. So a lot of text, a lot of things that we had to read about, but also research on the entire period. Then I put together this huge PPT with my entire research and then brought it forward to the creative department. We had a superb guidance from one of India's leading designers, fashion designers, Miss Sanju Modi. And she is a very, very charming lady, so full of life. Being so many years in the industry, like some 30 odd years, I think she's been in the industry. The same kind of drive, the same kind of research. She's so excited about fabrics. She's amazing with Indian textiles and her color sense is just impeccable. Somewhere during the course of time when we were about to start filming and all that stuff, she got very busy because she's so much in demand with all the brides of India and people abroad that she had to go and to fulfill her other commitments. So that's when I had to come and fill in her very big shoes. The beginning was very overwhelming. I didn't know if I could do this, to be honest. But then as and when we went through the story and then with her guidance and I'm going to show you all her color references and the way she started off for us. That made it very easy for me to actually finish the project. It is a costume drama. Costumes obviously play a very, very important role. Also because it's a biopic and not a fantasy film. So the costumes need to be real too. They need to have very strong historic references. We can't make big mistakes in that. I think challenges is what made this project interesting. If not, it would have been like any other regular film. I think when you have many creative minds, everybody has a different vision of a particular scene. Suppose the director is narrating a scene, we all have very different visions. So bringing all those visions together and then finding a common ground where all of us can work together and take the lead was the challenging part. But that was only in the beginning. Through the course of the filming of the project, we were all very comfortable in knowing who thinks which way and then where we can compromise and where we have to put out our thoughts. All that sort of became automatic because we knew each other very well. Every costume had its own ways and had its own challenges, but the final war costume is what took us a very long time for me to actually think how to portray him in that final war, because by then a lot of story has happened. This character has gone through a lot in the film. So by the end of it, when he's actually going into the war, it has to carry his entire backstory in his costume. At the same time, can't be overwhelming and can't take over the entire thing and lose focus on the actual war. So to keep the whole characters, his thinking, his mood and everything, and actually displaying that into a costume was quite challenging. And also because of that, my most favorite costume too. Yeah, I had the great opportunity and very grateful for that for getting the chance to design costume for all the leads of the film. That's Chiranjeevi Garu, my father, and the legend Amitabh sir, and the two beautiful Nayanthara and Tamanna, the female leads of our film. So I had a great time. I think it's a huge opportunity for me, and I'm so thankful for that. With each of them was very different, very exciting. The first day of shoot of each of these actors was so different. Especially with Amitabh sir, I thought I'll be very nervous on the first day because, you know, we've only met him on social, you know, occasions, but never worked with him. But then his aura and the way he works, he's so professional. He keeps everybody so comfortable. So that nervousness was not there. It was more of excitement and more of wanting to show, you know, what we've made. Like we were like little kids trying to show our, you know, artwork from school or something like that. It was like that. When he came into the sets, we were just jumping and waiting to see our costumes on him. So that was the most exciting day. And with Nayanthara and Tamanna, they both work very differently and both are such pleasure to work with. Nayanthara has her own like nice sweet manner to work with. She's very clear on what she wants. She comes very quiet. She sits there. She'll just let you do what you have to do to her, and she's very patient. You make her sit. She was wearing, in one particular scene, she was wearing at least like some 20 to 25 pieces of jewelry on her body. And then she was so calm and so patient with all that, and that was a great time with her. Tamanna, on the other hand, is just full of life. Like it's a party. When you enter her caravan, it's like a party. So if it's a dull morning and if it's a sleepy morning, all I have to do is just sit in her caravan for like 5-10 minutes, and then my mood is up. She's like that. She's a lot of fun. So we had a lot of fun, like a lot of you know, chatting up before and after shoots. Hers was quite tedious because she changed her tone of her skin, and every costume needed a lot of detailing. But you can never see the tiredness in her. She's just so energetic, and it keeps us going even for night shoots, for however tough it gets. You can never see it in Tamanna. It's a very tricky question. I hope Charan and my father are not watching this interview while I answer this. It's not difficult, but it's, what do you say, I feel more responsible because, you know, it's home production, and Charan as a producer, he just gives a free hand. He's like, it's your department, you take over, you do everything. And he has some very valuable inputs that he gives. It's my third film working with him. We both understand each other before even we discuss a certain thing. When we come for a meeting, before he even says something, I know how this is going to end. So now it's become very easy. Initially, yes, it was very hard for all of us to be in the same space with work and after work, because that's all we kept talking about. But then slowly we found our spaces, and we respect each of our spaces. So now it's a breeze and it's fun. The project is so big and the vision is so big that all of us had to work as a team. So there were a lot of times when the whole creative team, that's our director, our production designer, DOP, and the producer, of course, was always there, had to sit and discuss every little scene and every costume of that. So in those meetings, the director will come up with this vision, how he wants to see it, with a lot of reference pictures. My biggest help was our DOP, Mr. Ratnavelu. This is my third film with him. His color sense is so beautiful, like he will tell you exactly how it should be. So it just becomes easy for another creative person to understand him and to take on from there. Our art director, that is our production designer, Mr. Rajivan also, he set the whole tone of the film so beautifully, and then each of the characters, he had given them a mood. So it was very easy for us to sort of translate that into actual costumes. So that happened with each of the actors very differently, because we have to look at the comfort of the actor, the mood of the scene, and also how long the scene is going to be. So if it's a very, very long scene, we can't have too many things going on because the continuity, and also the actor has to actually wear these costumes because it's a period costume. It's not so easy to be in that whole costume like all through the day and for many days. So those kind of things which were there helped us evolve a lot from the initial discussions to the actual final product. The art and costume team played a huge role because it's a costume drama. We didn't work typically how we do for other films where we have a tiny two room space where we keep our costumes and little props and jewelry and all the stuff in the production office. For this, they had to actually set up this huge, massive, makeshift workshops for art and costume separately. They were massive. They fit 50 to 60 of us each time. So we had some 20-25 tailors working and a huge, super efficient team for costumes. Since it's a big film, so not one person can do this. So for the leads, I was there with my very, very cool team, headed by Bala, Deepika, Ravi. We had many people like that. And then for the rest of the cast and the crew, for the rest of the star cast, we had a super efficient person, Uttara Menon. She's a costume stylist, and she was there. She was the one who made all the actors look so in the theme. The way the mood is for Jagapati Babu Garu, for Sudeep Kicha, for all of these people, she designed beautiful costumes. And for all of these, we had some 20-30 people just there all the time, stationed in that place. So it was very exciting to go to work every morning in this space. He was amazing throughout the film. He had a vision and he was very clear in what he wants. In the beginning, to be honest, it took a lot of time for us to sort of understand each other, because this is a film that doesn't have any references. Unfortunately, this character Narasimha Reddy from Uyalavada has not been documented that much in the past. So that was a huge challenge for the director and for us to research about it and to understand each other, and also have slight commercial creativity. So those things took a while for us to understand his vision. But then once we got it, he was completely he'd given us the entire freedom. He's like, as long as you understand what the color palettes are and what the mood is, it's up to you guys what you want to design. And he was 99% of the time very happy with what we brought forward on the sets. If you've enjoyed this video, please do like, subscribe and share and comment below.